What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So this is going to be a season 28 guide that's going to show you all of the effects of the entire brand new skill tree in the Altar of Rites. I'll give you guys some really good tips and tricks so you can complete a GR 150 and complete your entire season for the brand new cosmetic reward. These are the brand new wings, and I'm going to show you guys how to get them. So starting off, season 20 has a brand new mechanic, and let's go ahead and go over how to access the new Altar of Rites, the new skill tree, and explain everything. So starting right off, what you're going to want to do is it's going to be in Act 1. You're going to go from the waypoint, just go over to the left. You'll see this thing called Altar of Rites. You just click it and it will be activated. Now, you're going to be able to get skill points via turning in or sacrificing certain things. That's how you get skill points on the skill tree. I'll also give you guys an order because it's very important that you actually go in relatively a similar order, because certain nodes are going to be super important to get earlier on, like Anointed over here makes it so when you're starting off in Season 28 with a brand new character, this is going to be one of the most powerful nodes, and you want to rush this one as quickly as possible, because then you can equip one of those legendaries that you may craft from, like the Hope of Cain cube recipe. But other than that, that's like the most important thing to go. I'll give you guys a build for the skill tree to kind of optimize and get your character running as quickly as possible to do that GR 150 so you can hold more blood shards, as you will need to hold more blood shards to complete some of these in terms of how to actually get skill points. You actually turn in, let's say, blood shards or certain things like Forgotten Souls and a lot of other things. Since I already have all the skill points, it doesn't show me the requirement. Now, just as a heads up, you can get all of them, but the order that you get them in is important. So first off, let's go over all of the skills, and I'll go ahead and mention like what they kind of do, and then I'll give you guys some extra bonus tips and tricks, and then on top of that, we'll go over how you actually get the materials required for each one of these nodes, and then we will also go over some secret things that you may have not actually known about that are actually very important for certain builds. So starting right off, I'll move my face out of the way so it's not blocking any of the skill nodes, and we'll go over all of the points. So how it works is you'll start up over in the top middle over here, and you'll work your way towards the bottom, eventually getting what seems to be like the most ultimate one, which is making it so you get double primals, which is actually pretty big. But starting at the top over here, our kill streak, timer, duration, and reward bonuses are doubled. And then we're going to move down over here to Anointed. And I'll mouse over all of them. I'll kind of go over like the order that I would suggest in a moment here. But this one's really big. Then we have extra movement speed. We have increased damage to elites. Then we've got blood, which makes it so granting a health globe grants us a percentage of our max life in shield form. Extra missile damage reduction, making it so pools of reflection last for the entire season and are not removed by death. We have extra flat damage. That's not percent damage, that's flat damage. That's actually better earlier on, but later on line, yeah, obviously 200% damage would be much better. And then moving down, we've got Nature, which increases our highest elemental damage bonus by 10%, so that's going to be like the cold damage, fire damage. And then we have Numb, which grants us extra melee damage reduction. Then we have Prowess, gives us increased damage against elites. We got extra damage, doubling the amount of death breaths that drop. Then we have Vigor. This one's actually a bigger node over here, so it makes so critical hits grant resource. Pretty much every Diablo build will be getting about 50% crit, so this one is great for most builds in the entire game. And then we have Bountiful. So this is going to double the amount of bounty caches that drop from completing bounties. This one's actually pretty big too, especially earlier on if you're looking to maybe get like Royal Ring or Grandeur earlier on. And then we have Progress Orbs from Nephilim, and Greater Rifts are picked up automatically. This is really, really big as well. And then we have reducing the damage taken by elites by 25%. Then we gain passibility. If you know what loser boots are, same thing. And then we've got Omen, which grants us immunity to crowd controlling effects. This is absolutely huge earlier on. It's going to really speed up things. It's a kind of a priority for most builds. And then we have extra damage reduction. Now keep in mind, some builds like they can 100% Wrath of Berserker or let's say Vengeance, then you may not need to grab this earlier on. Then we have the Pets picking up Death's Breath. This is really good for progression. And then we also have Reaper, which makes so elite packs drop one additional Progress Orb. Good stuff indeed as well. And then we have increased damage done to bosses by 25%. Then we have Pets pick up and salvage common, magic, and rare items. And then we have Elegance, increasing your dodge chance by 15%. And then we have Pattern, doubling the chance to find a legendary item purchased from Kadala. Then we have Father, which is one of the best nodes in the entire game. When you drink your potion, gain a random shrine or pylon effect. Now, important thing with this does stack with emanate effects of, let's say, the Flavor of Time on your follower as well. And on top of that, you can actually run the Gloves of Worship and get the huge 10-minute bonus to Shrine. So this is like the priority one for most builds. Then we have Mortal. When you drink your potion, all enemies within 25 yards deal 25% less damage. That's really great. And then we have Mother, which makes so when you drink your health potion, you manifest one of 3 runic circles on the ground that grant increased damage, increased cooldown reduction, or increased resource cost reduction. To kind of show you guys what that looks like, I'm going to go ahead and also equip this over here, the Flavor of Time on my follower, and I'm just going to activate, and you'll see that if I stand in it, now we have resource costs are decreased. This was kind of part of a seasonal theme, but that is basically all of the skills. Now, how do we get the brand new cosmetic wings for Season 28? Well, you just get every single skill node. Now, what's interesting with this, as far as getting the skill points, it's kind of interesting how they set this up. So how we get all of the skill points, it's going to require, as we progress, basically a higher tier of like material. So starting right off, it's 10 reusable parts. That's where you get a common item and you just salvage it, that you get one reusable part. And then it's going to require a flawless diamond or greater. And then it requires some arcane dust and reusable parts. So you basically get this as you progress in the season. So basically, as soon as you make a brand new character in Season 28, you'll get these earlier on. Now, to get a Greater Rift Key, you have to, of course, be at max level for the game, and it also requires 10 Death Breath. So the most important thing with your first 2 points is really being able to unlock the abilities so items have no level requirement. So that's actually the most important thing, and then it gets a little bit more deep. So you're going to require a class-specific set helm, so usually that's going to be at minimum level 60. But it pretty much just goes on and on in terms of like things that you'll get mostly by just playing the game. Some of them will require more, and how it works is basically as you're going deeper into the skill tree, it requires a different one. But don't worry, you can get every single one, but it's going to get kind of harder and harder as you go further down. Then we have Reaper's Wraps. That's kind of like a little bit more obscure. You're going to have to kill Mothiel to get that one. Then we have Forgotten Souls, Blood Shards. So you'll get these basically by just playing the game. The other things that are going to be a little bit more different, like we have a Challenge Rift cache. That one's going to be a little bit different. You might have to save, wait for the next rotation. We don't know when the release date of Season 28 is yet, but that could matter. You might want to save it to actually progress faster. If you want to be able to get that node, because otherwise you're going to have to wait for the next week's Challenge Rift if you're using your Challenge Rift cache and opening it up so you can get the legendary item earlier on. But we have Forgotten Souls, and Blood Shards, and Ancient Hellfire. And one thing that's important is make sure that it is ancient when you sacrifice it. Otherwise, it will be unselected and you cannot sacrifice it. But anyways, we got Never Ending Questions. So this one, as well as getting all of the things required for the Staff of the Hurting, this is something where it may actually change. So I'm not going to go over how to get like the Staff of Hurting, because they may actually change how the requirements work for this. It could be a lot easier. So most of these, again, you're going to be able to understand how to get 500 Death Breath. That's just basically playing the game. Forgotten Souls. Most of these you'll just get by playing the game. Now, there is something new called Primordial Ashes. This is something brand new. This is how you unlock all of the potions. So like I said, prioritize getting this one first. It is without a doubt the best one in the entire game. But to get a Primordial Ash, what you do to get this is you salvage a primal item. And once you salvage the primal item, you'll get Primordial Ashes. You can actually use basically 2 items. You salvage 2 items that are primals, and you can actually craft. There's a brand new thing for Season 28, and I'll go ahead and go over it real quick because it is very important for the brand new season. So it's actually page 11 in the Kanai's Cube. It is going to require a legendary item and 100 Primordial Ashes. So to get these, again, you salvage a primal, and that's how you get them. So that's how you get that one, and that's one of the like final ones that you'll be getting, and that's towards like the bottom. And once you complete everything, you will be able to get this one, which grants us double primal drops in the skill tree. And then once you completed all of them, that's how we get the wings. So hopefully that answers the question as far as how do we get those wings. So on top of that, I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a very important picture to go ahead and go over like a build tree guide over here. So this is going to be the tree that I recommend for everyone to get. Is pretty much follow the red one or follow the orange one. The reason why is because you want to be able to unlock this one ASAP. That's the one where you're able to have no requirement for your items as far as level requirement, and then the next one's movement speed, and then there's a couple other nodes that are kind of important here, but the main thing is you really want to path down towards this bottom one, which again gives us the ability for potions to actually activate effects. You can see right now I have Blessed for 10 minutes. That's emanating from our follower. So important things that are kind of secret things, or things that are like really good tips for players that want to push and be able to, you know, get that GR 150 done as quickly as possible. This emanates, so this does work with the potion effect. This also works with the potion effect of Pylon's effect lasting twice as long. We'll have to wait for the potion cooldown to actually like be able to show it off. Hopefully we'll get one. It's kind of random on what effect that you get, but it's every 30 seconds we get a random bonus. Sometimes you get the same one, but nonetheless, I wanted to go ahead and show you guys. I just took these screenshots earlier because it's random on what you get. So this is with the Flavor of Time equipped. You can see we have the Conduit lasting at 57 seconds. It technically lasts for a minute because we have the Emanates, but if you don't have it equipped over here, so you can see right now I've got Scorched Necklace. I unequip the Flavor of Time, then they will actually last 30 seconds. So you want to make sure that you actually have your Flavor of Time equipped on yourself or over on your follower, as this is one of the biggest changes over here. Did we get one? Well, we have another Gloves of Worship effect over here. So this does work with the Emanates effect. If I take it off, by the way, I don't know if anyone's going to be interested in snapshotting it, but you can see that it is actually removed from this. So make sure you pay attention to that. I don't think anyone's going to try to snapshot it, but for very specific things, maybe you want a certain glove equipped on your follower and you want to try to snapshot. So if you do remove it, it will also remove it. So that's basically the tips and tricks that I wanted to give you guys, as was a very frequently asked question, to go over the entire skill tree, as well as some tips and tricks to go for like a build guide earlier on for most builds. But here we have the channeling. If I remove it over here, this one, you can see this one will actually stay because I guess it's different on activation versus like keeping it on for the other one. But yeah, that is the skill tree and some extra info for you guys. But that's going to go ahead and wrap up the video. If you guys want to see gameplay and build guides of more stuff in Diablo 3 for Season 28, and this is your first time here, make sure you guys are subscribed with the bell notification on. And if you have any questions, let me know down below and I'll try to get back to you ASAP. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys on the next video. And also check out the Demon Hunter build with the brand new Natalia set. Is really cool. I'll have that pinned down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.